I like it.
All right, let's run this. I don't know how long I usually let it last.
A bit longer than that usually. Let it go for a bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I could add it on. It's not a big deal. It's fine. I don't mind it.
It's not a complaint.
No,
No.
it's not a complaint. Last part of the year, boys.
Indeed it is.
Now that I think about it, we should have done a year-end wrap-up today. But I like when we did it because we had Praxi and Momo on.
Which was adorable.
Yeah, it was
They're
adorable.
awesome peoples.
And it's ironic because we lost you last time. Now we lost.
I know.
You know what I mean? If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you see there's a lack of money on my right side.
Oh my God.
But we replaced it with a con artist. Isn't that ironic?
Just like that.
Isn't that ironic? The money's gone, but the artist is here. Yeah. Welcome back to a lot about
That was
nothing.
beautiful. If you know him, his name, and V Money, that was good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a
Yeah.
good pun.
It was a good pun. It's all for inside listeners. Only real listeners know that pun. Welcome back to a lot about nothing, folks, where we talk about everything, but in the end, it means nothing. And you're gonna hear something new next year, which is like a few weeks from now. But you're gonna hear something new. Gentlemen, how are you?
I've been all right. Survive, man. The year is coming to a close, so I wanted to be optimistic and 2021 will be new and different, but also I'm realistic and time is just a string and crap keeps happening on it. So you can't really let the change of a number make you think everything's gonna stop. So
Because it won't.
you gotta be ready,
Yeah,
and
we're
prepared still, and keep your mind ready.
The Rona is still out there. I'm going to go ahead and reiterate. 2021 does not cure the Rona.
No.
It is still out there. You still got to social distance. You still got to wear your masks when you're in the publics. Don't breathe or spit on people. And yeah, don't argue with me about my mask. If you go somewhere and someone tells you can take your mask off around me, keep your mask on. Actually tighten the mask because that means they haven't been wearing one in
Why like
ages.
this? We're contradicting. Go look at us where we're at right now. We're like only 2.5 feet from each other.
Yeah, that's fine.
They don't know that, though.
No, they do know that. They're watching the video. But we working.
We working.
I got
fam.
some lozenges for y'all boys. Because what's his face got me doing this now. Praxi. Since he brought it the first time on the pod.
They're pretty great.
I mean, it works. I thought it was just for when you were sick. But like your throat
when we were
scratchy.
betting, these were candy, bro.
Wait, what? No,
Yeah.
never.
Benning.
They were never candy.
At Benning, they were.
Where?
Fort Benning.
Oh, Fort Benning. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
there's
nothing about the army.
There's not a lot of luxuries there. So
I would
People,
imagine.
semi-introduction. Please introduce yourself, friend, and tell about why Fort Benning matters to you and why they should know it. What is Fort Benning and why is it important? Really quick.
Trey doesn't like it when we go on tangents.
I don't. You gotta explain things, y'all. Come on, like people don't know
Like when we
everything.
go on tangents.
I
I
don't.
thought we was just talking a lot
No.
about nothing.
Explain.
See,
Explain.
that's what I thought too, Samal, but you got to explain what Fort Benning is.
Exactly. Not everyone knows.
So Fort Benning is the home of the infantry. It's that's about the extent of all my.
What is
history and
infantry?
knowledge.
Is that Army? Or is that
man.
Marines?
See, he's right.
Is
This
that
man.
Navy?
You gotta explain.
Is
No
that
one-
Coast
they may
Guard?
not know what that is.
Is that the swim team?
You couldn't just let me have that.
Is that the Royal Artillery? Is like what is it?
What is it?
You swear I know, bro.
What are you right now?
I've been out as of November 29 this year.
You out?
I'm out. Like out,
Welcome home.
Out.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm not paid to not know that.
Oh, so now okay, he doesn't need to know the information now.
Right,
that actually
right.
is fair.
So when
Okay.
they hit me up the week after, I was like, bro, you 4 days too late.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, dude, that information's gone. I already flushed it. It's not in my head anymore. I'm
I think
sorry.
I got a
License.
screen cap somewhere on my phone too, bro. It was like that.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
con
you.
artist is out of the army. He's
feel
back. He's a civvy. We're cool now.
We're cool now.
We're cool now.
Oh my god.
How are you? You didn't say how you were.
I'm all right. I mean, I got nothing to say that hasn't already been said about 2020 and
Okay.
going into 2021. So
Okay.
That's fair.
just chilling, cruising, along for the ride.
Sick, bro. I'm doing okay. Thanks you guys for asking.
Oh, by the way,
no,
Nakula,
forget
I
it.
just,
Forget it
by
now.
the way, how are you? Man? I just wanted
Forget
to
it now.
Just wanted to ask. He
Um,
never gives me time, man. He never gives me time.
I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with my future.
Aren't
Same.
we all?
Yeah,
Is that we
what I
all?
want to do to like get more money.
Isn't that like your
Like,
constant state of existential crisis?
Only in
We
America.
all.
Only in America do I have this mindset. If I was in France, none of this. Well, I don't want to go to France. They're traitors. But if I was like, somewhere in like Switzerland or I don't know, but maybe I don't know Canada, I wouldn't have this mentality where I gotta figure out what I gotta do for money. So yeah. But besides that, I'm doing fine. I can't complain. I'm alive. I'm working still. I'm able to sleep, eat, walk, even though my knees be killing me sometimes. I started taking the stairs, bruh. Oh, man, bad idea, dude. I try to be more healthy, take the stairs. It just didn't work out, man.
It's all right taking them up. It's going down.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, no. Going up hurts for me. 'Cause it's the pressure I put on my left knee.
Yeah, but going down, it's the entire weight of your body
It's fine.
dropping.
Going down is fine. Yes. Trey, we're old, bro. Like,
Jesus Christ.
we're old young. You don't see this gray hair on my face? It's like, come on, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
I feel you though, honestly. I ain't
Working
gonna lie,
class
bro.
problems. Working class
I
problems.
me about it.
sometimes when you be getting up out of bed, sometimes and you're just like, whoa, that took a lot more
Yeah.
strain than it
Then
needed
you-
to. I
yeah.
understand. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Super facts. So let's get into IQs.
Of course.
IQ stands for interesting question. For those of you who are just joining the podcast and you subscribed and you're gonna listen every week from now on,
Of course.
that's what IQ stands for. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate all of our new listeners. Welcome to the group.
Love y'all. Thank you. I
You're the
appreciate
greatest.
you.
You're the
You are
greatest.
great, honestly.
IQ. We actually don't have IQs, but we kind of have IQs. I know it sounds weird, but it's something the con artist came up with.
Whole plan. It is an IQ. Okay. Gosh darn it. It is an IQ. And it's solid.
It is solid.
I think it's
I'm
solid.
glad you guys liked it. I thought
It's
you all was
good.
gonna laugh me off.
Nah, I think it's solid. It's
If you
very,
don't have the mic here, you need to talk this way,
very meta.
or you move it.
Oh,
Very meta.
teamwork.
I see.
So, my good man, Khan, please,
There you go.
what is the IQ?
So yeah, I'm Khan. I guess I should introduce myself now.
Yeah, probably.
I
told you earlier.
You've been on a couple times.
I've been on a couple times.
You've been on a couple times. I call him the con artist, but it's con as in KHAN. Yeah, not the CON part. He's not a criminal.
Like the Raider. Like,
But it has been a
Yeah,
minute
like-
for me, so I'm a little out of
Genghis.
practice.
Yeah, like
with this.
Genghis.
I ain't ready.
But he's not
quote
Genghis.
unquote.
He's a con artist.
Stop it. What is the IQ?
So
They
IQ.
distract me so easy. Also ADHD, bro. I'm sorry about that. Y'all. It's too easy, bro. They distract me and the peers, you know.
So yeah,
Go.
interesting question for the day.
yes, please.
How many holes are there in a straw?
It's a question of perspective, right?
Oh God.
Absolutely.
If you
Because
think
there's no
about it.
wrong answer.
Is there?
There's no wrong answer.
You're probably right. There's probably no wrong answer, but it's
Two.
a question of perspective.
It's two.
I would also say 2.
It's two.
And the only reason I say that is because, like, if you have a straw, well, you could just flip it over, and it'd be like a brand new like hole.
if
in
you
a
have
straw.
if you have a donut, is it one hole or two?
That's a good question. I would say 2 because one side of the donut might be glazed, the other side's not. Technically, it's 2 different holes.
I think, yeah, I actually think that a hole comes down to the fact that you are like standing on a side and then enter the hole. So because that automatically, if you are standing on the other side, and it means there's only 2 holes. So even though they meet in the middle, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you can
but
enter
you originally
the hole.
thought one hole. So why'd you
No,
switch
2
from
holes.
one
It's
to
2.
2?
No, he thought 2.
No, it's 2. I thought 2.
No?
He thought 2. Yeah.
2.
So, but the thing is, like, if you lay the straw down, right, and 2 ants walk in on either side,
They're both going.
are they
through
walking
it.
into one hole? They're walking.
No, it's
each
2. It's 2
walking
holes.
into 2.
It's 2 holes. They're both going
Right.
into a hole.
They're
and there are
both
2
going
holes.
into a separate hole.
Yes.
Or the same.
It's the same tunnel with 2
Right,
holes,
with
2
2 holes.
entrances. There's 2 entrances to a tunnel.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
So is the door an exit or enter?
Yes.
It's both. Yes, actually, yeah, that is the answer. Yes, it is an entrance and an exit all the time
So
at the same time.
my take on the straw is it's neither one nor two.
Dun,
This should
dun,
be good. This should be
dun.
good.
This should
Let's
be
go
good.
back to
We're all actually energy.
ninth grade
We're in the
algebra,
matrix.
8th grade algebra, or maybe it was 10th grade geometry or
Whatever it's
whatever,
called.
right? Like, what did they teach you in math?
I don't know. I failed that shit. I really did. My degree's in English, dude. Like, don't ask me those questions.
I
respect
mean,
that.
that's true,
Triggered.
true,
I
true.
respect that. I
But
respect that.
in the same way that there are infinitely many points along a line, I think there are infinitely many holes along that straw.
That makes no sense. I
Zero
disagree.
sense. Now, if you poke like holes in it
Nah.
with like a needle
How?
or something, you can
That's
poke
what
a
I'm
bunch
saying.
of holes in the straw.
It's an infinite hole, man.
No.
It continues.
That's not true. It's
No, because there's an end.
It's the fact that there is an entrance to it.
Yeah.
The fact that you can see where the entrance is and decide to not be on this side of existence, travel through that opening and be on another side of existence. You have entered a hole or a
There
portal.
are infinitely many points along that straw.
There's
There are
only 2
infinitely
points.
many points
That's not true.
in time
Once you are
that
within
you are
it-
passing through that straw.
Once you are within the straw, you are in a tunnel. You're not in a hole. You're in a tunnel. You're in a chasm, or you're in.
So how are you defining a hole? What are you defining the hole as?
the
How does
hole-
the hole on a donut differ from
the hole is
the hole of a straw?
The hole is the what is it? The lip is the rim. That is what creates the hole. Is the fact that there is space and a rim around it, and you can go through it. It is the plane that you have to go through. That is what the hole is. So the second you go through that plane, you are now within the
but
structure.
is a hole a 3D structure or a 2D structure?
A hole is actually more so.
If it's a plane,
it's more so
if
of a
it's a
2D
2D
structure.
plane,
It's more so of a 2D structure.
there you go. So
Yeah.
then along your straw, you have infinitely many
No, you
planes
don't.
that create
No,
that straw.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Once you go into the hole, you are then within a tunnel or a chasm or a space.
You're within a
But it's not
tunnel
hole.
or a chasm.
They're not
You're
a hole.
not within the hole,
No,
right?
so you can't be in the hole.
So you can't be in the hole. Once you're in the straw, you're not in the hole anymore, right? Is that how you're saying it?
So once
That's an
you go,
interesting concept.
No, you pass through the hole. You pass through the hole. You can't be in the hole. You pass through the hole.
Listen,
But if you were to take a cross section of that straw,
Wait, no, let me
right
put-
where you were standing,
then you've
you'd
created-
still
no, you've
have
created-
a hole. It's still a plane.
But you can't say what if because that's not true. There is no
It's
what
not a
if.
what
There
if.
oh,
is a
he's co-
straw.
No, he's
But
correct.
there
You have to
is
go
a
what-
straw.
you
It's
have-
not a what if.
You gotta go
That's-
by
You just said
what's
what
there.
if. That's my point. It's not what if. You said there is a straw.
Yes.
With there being a straw, no matter what, all three of us are perceiving a straw.
Yes.
Period. Thus, there is
But
an end
you're
here and an
seeing
end
it
here.
as there's literally only 2 points to that straw. And I'm telling you, along that straw is infinitely many realities, right?
There's-
At every step you take within that straw.
There's 2 holes, and once
Nah,
you have
bro.
passed through those planes, you have entered into a tunnel that has the name straw. Okay, you are now in a tunnel, and it is made of plastic, and you are within a structure. The structure is a straw that has 2 entrances
what do
to
you
it.
call infinitely many holes aligned against each other?
Negro, you tell me. That's not a straw.
That's not a straw?
I don't know what do you want to call it, a wormhole, but
So
it's
if
not
you
a
were
straw.
if you were to take 1 millimeter rings and you were to put them all against each other, what would that get you?
What if you cannot go between those rings to enter into the space between them? Then there are 2 holes here, and there's a bajillion tunnel-like rings, okay, that only have 2 entrances. But again,
Right.
you're throwing an infinite. There is no infinite
There
that you
is
can
an
actually
infinite.
show and do and cause that is. Sorry, let me fix that. Fam, I am a mathematician, but also realistically, none of us are going to create a straw that is so long that I can't actually see the end over there or over there, and then be like, haha, I now have infinite holes, and I have bested you free. Like, no, realistically.
Is that not what a tunnel is?
God damn.
See, what Trey is saying is that you have to go by what the subject matter actually is.
I'm just saying, like that's
It's
true.
a
You said straw.
You can't add
It's a
in.
straw.
You can't add more
other
I'm not
factors
factors that
adding it.
don't.
I'm just I see it. I see the straw.
So there's a straw.
as a line.
Okay,
And in this
But there are endpoints, yes? Are there endpoints that we can perceive and know? Like, do you see that there's a top here?
yes.
You know this is a hole because if once you pass through it, you are within the bottle. There is one hole for this bottle.
So are
is
there
no
not
hole on
infinitely
this
many
side.
points on a line?
I don't know if that's a math concept. Listen, this might be the stupidest thing we ever debated.
Hold on. Stop.
Are there infinitely
pause.
many
First
points?
of all, there's a whole like philosophy class where there's a guy who literally makes this example. He's like, if I shoot an arrow at this here wall or whatever, there's an infinite amount of points that has to pass through. Thus, it never actually touches the arrow. Fam, y'all can be as philosophical as you want. It touches the.
What?
If I shoot a bow and arrow right
Yes.
here and it hits the wall over there,
Yes.
you can say there's an infinite amount of points that the arrow passes through between me and the wall. That's sure. You can rationalize that logically. However, it's gonna hit the wall, and we are all gonna perceive that it hits the wall.
So this isn't a
But
debate
you're still
about
perceiving it as going through infinitely many points to get to that wall. Everything has a trajectory.
No. That's great. I'm glad that you have the math and can use a bit of logic. However,
Trey's being more pragmatic.
There's a whole class on this in college where they literally like in philosophy, I'm mad I can't remember the name, but they literally discussed the philosopher who was like, yes,
Philosophy of
there's an infinite amount of points between here and there, and you're perceiving an infinite amount of points technically. That's great, except our minds have evolved to accept that it can come to an end.
So, okay, so if that's the scenario, if that's the case, why are there others then able to argue or able to perceive it as no, it definitely crossed an infinite number of points?
Sure.
You could divide it up however you want. You can call it inch by inch, you can call it by
Because-
quarter inch,
Well,
you can call it
perception's
by
not linear.
eighth of an inch, you can call it by millimeters.
Because
you can
we
do-
have evolved to have enough we have evolved to have enough differences in mind that some of us can logic out mathematically that there is an infinite amount of points between here and there. That's true. However, we have also evolved and mutated enough to realize it's gonna hit a wall. If I shoot a bow and arrow, it's going to kill my enemy over there, and I can then conquer their land.
What does the infinite number of points and it hitting the wall have a
It's the
relationship?
same with your straw. You said, is there an infinite amount of points on the line?
There are an infinite number of points.
I agree.
You can continue to divide. You can continue.
Sure.
It's the reason why you can never divide to zero, right?
Sure, I agree. Sure. However,
Right. So you have an infinite, because as you move through that straw, as you move through that tunnel, your perception of the whole is changing.
sure.
You have infinitely many points along that entire path.
However, what people continue to always forget is the fact that you are a perspective. You can, if you go smaller and smaller within reality, sure.
but then
at
by
atomical
that
level,
perspective,
whatever.
then there's only one hole because you're only able to perceive the one hole in that frame.
Obviously, it's a moot point.
It's not a mute point because if you have a straw,
it's a moot point
There's
because
a plane and a plane that you can exit and enter out of. Why? How many holes does this have?
a single.
A single hole. If I cut out the bottom of it,
You have infinitely many holes.
there's not an infinite amount of holes.
there
there's
is,
a
because
hole
there's
here.
infinitely many.
Okay, I see where Trey's going. There
There's a
isn't an
hole in a
infinite
hole.
amount of the object, so there isn't an infinite
not.
amount of the
Automatically.
hole. The object ends.
The object ends automatically. There's no
The straw at
there's
some
no
point
infinite
ends,
amount of anything.
So it's
the
not,
straw does end.
Yeah, it's not infinite.
If I'm drinking water through a straw, the water is on the other side of the straw. I am drinking water through it.
Right.
Like, it's not.
And what is the water traveling through?
It is-
Infinitely many points along that straw.
It's only one
It's
plane.
traveling through a
Infinitely
plane.
many planes.
It travels through one singular
It
plane.
enters through one plane
That-
and it travels through infinitely many planes.
First plane is the whole. After that, it is the structure, and it is within the structure. That's why vacuums exist.
and the structure
There is
is
there's pressure.
what?
There's
What is
pressure
the
on one
structure?
side, and there's pressure on the other side. If there's higher pressure and lower pressure, an interaction
The
happens, and
structure,
vacuum
the
exists.
straw is infinitely many planes of holes.
Let us know
No,
what you think in the
it's
comments,
not.
guys. Listen, this is a very stupid argument. Very cool, by the way.
It's a very stupid argument, but these are the types.
No, listen.
This is
But
the
it
type.
matters.
That's why I brought this up because
I know.
it's not a political thing. It's not a
no.
religious thing. It's not
cool.
a. It's an
It's cool how
ideology
y'all
still.
transformed it. That's the cool part.
Because there's the literal sense, there's the mathematical sense, there's the philosophical
Let us
sense.
know,
We've
let us know
never
what you think in the
once.
comments.
Hole.
See, Trey's
Tunnel.
being pragmatic. 2 holes,
Hole.
2 openings, there's 2 entrances. Fine. Makes sense. He thinks that it goes on forever. Not sure if it makes sense.
I don't know. I'm not saying it goes on forever.
Logically.
It starts
You
and
said
ends.
it's infinite.
Mathematically.
It's infinite within those 2 points.
Mathematically, yes, it goes forever because there is no higher and lower end to reality. Yes, there's an infinite amount of points between these 2 points, and think of it like wobbling up this way and wobbling down that way, and it's like a giant bell curve, whatever curve, and it could be along any of these points is great, except We exist in this plane of reality. Thus, we see it at this point. Thus, we see two holes and it's a tunnel. That's all I'm saying. We are perspectives, and we all have the same user interface and perceive the same things. The fact that all three of us do see a sofa over there is insanely powerful. It is. There are billions of people on this planet, and every single one of us will acknowledge that that's the sofa. Do you know how powerful of an evolutionary trait it is that we can all acknowledge the same thing? That's awesome. Or is it
primal?
I think, okay, that yes, it is primal. However, it evolved for us to understand what that is in our user interface. If I'm a rattlesnake and I see by heat-based, it simply does not see the couch in the same way that we see it. It simply doesn't. It sees it in a different way. It will acknowledge that there is a thing there that is blocking it from moving in a direction that, sure, but fam, it ain't seeing it from the same standing perspective that we're seeing it. It's not seeing it from the perspective of a bird. It has to forage through life differently.
Which was the point?
Sorry, continue.
All right, we're going to move on, but this is an interesting conversation that y'all can have in the comments
section.
Sorry,
y'all.
You can't finish it. You know, it's an ongoing conversation.
It's the same conversation I had in my philosophy class. I had philosophy of human rights, and that was a different one. No, that was a big one. But, okay, so the straw thing, it's okay not to disagree. That's why it's cool. It's a moot point.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's okay not to disagree.
Not to agree.
Victor didn't see no straws.
Oh, not to. Yeah, it's okay not to agree. It's okay to disagree. Yeah.
Victor don't believe in the straw though.
Victor, I want to know what
we gotta ask him when he come back, bro.
Yeah, we gotta.
That'll be like the first time we'll ask him again when he come back.
Yeah.
What straw?
Listen, bro.
So our topic today is technological dissonance. You probably never heard of technological dissonance because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, fam. We definitely kind of as we kind of delved into and researched like technology, cognitive dissonance, people dealing with the aspect of technology, very much so altering their lives, and also people very much so having cognitive dissonance. For example, like Confederate flags existing. For example, people not believing that China or Russia or any other random country is doing a certain thing, or are believing that they're doing a certain thing, even if facts say otherwise.
Politics.
A lot of politics. We're going to pass. We're going to ignore the politics for a second, but the whole first little bit of it is the fact that technological dissonance. Okay, it is. It's the battle between reality and then the reality within the digital world, and how those are kind of colliding and connecting. So we'll get to that a bit later. But the first question I want to ask y'all.
Hold on a sec.
Go ahead,
let me tell you how this came about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, please.
I was chilling at home. My brother brought in the newspaper, and I'm like, oh, sweet newspaper. Let me read this thing real quick. Haven't read newspaper in ages, right? Not sure why we still get these magazines.
What are those?
Right. So I'm like reading through it, and I saw this ad for like this little mop thing. It's like a wireless mop, kind of like a
Roomba.
Kind of like a Roomba, but not a Roomba. It was way cheaper. but it was in the same sense. And I'm like, oh, this is fire. It's on sale for like, I don't know, like $30. Let me see. And I went for it and tapped the newspaper for more information.
You know, it's funny because I've heard like a past boss say they try to like pinch to zoom when they're looking at a page or something like that. I'm like, I haven't hit that yet.
To my surprise,
I haven't done that yet.
They didn't like send me to Safari and go to the webpage. So I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, oh my God, this is a newspaper. I'm trying. And the thing is, I didn't stop. Even though I realized it.
You were still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, part of me still wanted to tap on it to get the, I'm like, let me skip my phone and just look it up. It was, dog, it baffled me.
It became annoying that you actually had to do the work of reading.
It floored me a little bit. I'm like, dang. I have my phone in my hand 24/8. I'm just so used to looking stuff up on there and just tapping it. And it's taking me to where I want to go.
Yeah.
I can't even read a newspaper, man.
What you need is a Kindle then, bro.
No, I don't. I need less electronics is what it's saying. Very much
it gives you the same satisfaction of reading like on paper.
Any of you guys?
What?
Tried to like open and
it has not happened to me yet. It has not happened to me yet. I know friends who it has happened to, but it has not happened.
It doesn't help that I also work in technology.
Yeah. So you're dealing with it all the time.
Dude, it made me feel really weird that I had to do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling.
If you had a like a hollow screen. You know how in like sci-fi shows you can like doop, 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 on like a hollow screen. If you could have technology integrated into your being, body, or on your body and clothing, whatever, and you whatever activate it, and it becomes a hollow screen that you can use as like a cell phone or use as a tablet, where would you have it?
On my wrist.
Now, would you have it as like a wristwatch, as like a ring, or like a whole forearm? Would you have it integrated into your skin as like a tattoo? Would you have it as like a chip?
That's
Would you have it as like
interesting.
a whole bracelet? You know?
Right. I would have like a bracelet.
Okay.
Kind of like this gold watch I got.
Yeah.
If I like clicked it, boom, it'll display the screen, and I do it like Ben 10 style. Bam.
I feel you.
Yeah, it'd be
I don't
dope.
want none of that, bro.
No?
You don't want to have it?
Nah.
I
Why
wouldn't
not?
get an implant in my body or anything like that.
What you mean? I'll get a can I get the tattoo option, but like on the inside of my
dude,
eyelid?
you could have it
So
literally anywhere. You could have it as like a button. You could have it as an earring. You could have it on your collar. Where would you want it to
like I
be?
said, get it as a tattoo on the inside of your eyelid, so you don't have to stop even when you blinking.
On the inside of your eyelid.
Dude,
So like close your eyes and it's just
think
going
about
in.
it. Think about it. If you're gonna go that far, why stop there? Maybe you have a third eye as a camera, and that way you never have to open your eyes ever. You are constantly perceiving the reality around you.
Well, it's kind of like Cyberpunk. You haven't,
Or
played,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
you haven't played Cyberpunk, have you?
dude,
No? Okay.
No, that's why,
I didn't think you would.
That's why I'm asking, because like I know like Cyberpunk's
Boomer
coming
status.
out, and it's
Came
hyped
out.
that like people are now getting into the whole cyber future, and like the fact that like masks, the disease, and also Cyberpunk and like the new Blade Runner, all of these are coming out at the same time. Of what is the future of technology going to be like?
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are
yeah.
what are cyborgs going to be like?
Yeah.
Human augmentation, dunna. Like I'm sorry, that's super interesting to me.
dope.
Because my question is always going to be: the second we get a robotic arm that is literally better than a
I
human
might
arm,
get one, dog.
bro.
I might be first in line.
I'm telling you, people are going
let me-
to
let me-
cut off an arm
I might be Full
and put
Metal
on a
Alchemist.
bionic
let me get on the
arm, bro.
priority list for them knees, boy.
I'm telling you,
Same.
the second they get them awesome knees and
Hell
like,
yeah, boy! I'm trying to jump from building to building.
Saying, give me the. I'll take the bionic knee.
I'm telling you, dude,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
easily see people going for like legs and their off arm, their offhand, or actually
Anything
off
that
arm.
gives you dexterity.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like they'd keep like their main hand, because I feel like a lot of people would be like, well, I use it all the time. I'm attached to it. I
For when
I
they're
know
on
it.
OnlyFans, yeah.
Exactly. And then they would use the offhand as I'll give you that mechanical hand. I'm a bit weaker on the hand anyway. Let me get the servo actuators that help me lift like a
The
ton with one
servo
arm. You know,
Dang, that's cool.
that's what I'm saying. You know, and then again, like I said, the hologram or whatever, the hollow plane, that's going to be your iPad. I'm telling you guys
But, like,
right now,
do
in the
you-
future is going to be holographic, like phones, holographic
But
pads.
I would also do a ring if I had like. I would
Dude.
want like a set. Give me like a watch ring, maybe like a chain.
That's clean. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, dude, people are
they
going to have
were
them on their
all
nails. They're going to have it like I think like tattooed cybernetics is going to be a thing.
That'd be cool.
I'm telling you, dude. There's gonna be like a chip that has like all the machinery or whatever like on a part of you, and then the like tattooed cybernetic, like I don't know, like lines and electricity that can go through you to where you need to go.
Kind of like Cyberpunk.
Exactly like Cyberpunk.
See, this is how you know I'm a boomer, because you mention all this stuff,
so
cyber
sorry.
this, cyber that. We're gonna have fucking like solenoids inside us.
You don't even know how to
controlling
use
arms
an
and shit
email,
like that. I'm still trying to figure out how to close it. And all I'm thinking about is like, think of all the dumb fucking commercials you see about. Oh, were you ever exposed to this?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you might
It's
be
gonna
entitled.
happen.
Could you imagine?
Bro,
Could you
Listen.
imagine
do not do the
The
first
world
like
that comes
3 generations,
after.
bro. Don't
Yeah.
do the first
the
like
world
for
that
the
comes
updates.
after with just the spam ads,
Dude.
bruh?
Imagine spam on your
I was
arm.
about to say it's gonna be in your eye socket, bro.
Yeah.
You have it on
Because
your
you're not gonna see it
eyelid.
as billboards or on TV. Like
Yes.
if you walking around with like these cyber displays in your face or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, you're gonna see that everywhere you go.
Just like you seen Ghost in the Shell?
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
Ghost in the
Yep,
Shell,
yep, yep,
where
yep.
it's nothing but ads
Everywhere.
everywhere. I already don't like ads now.
It'll be like
Imagine
driving
just
through the
stepping
Florida
foot outside,
Turnpike.
It's an ad.
In the future, the second we have floating billboards,
It's over.
it's
Not-
done.
but, see, but,
It's
but that's the
everywhere.
thing. If you move to a future where you just looking through things through like, I don't know, fucking cyber glasses or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck it is that displays it, they don't even need to put it there. It's
don't.
constantly
It's-
around you.
it's just
Think about
in
the
the
fact that
glasses.
like you could buy Android phones right now that have ads built into the software,
Naturally,
kind of like how
it's there.
Kindle or Amazon does with
yeah,
the
yeah.
Kindles. Like, what is that?
It's crazy.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
bad enough that you got to deal with it like 15 minutes of it for a 5-minute YouTube video, but now just getting through your phone, switching from text to text, All they're doing is packing in all that ad space.
Tell me about it.
So then when you move to this future of,
can't read
you're
newspaper.
just going to be able to see it
Oh, yeah.
in holograms
Oh, yeah.
or as displays
Oh, yeah.
through your glasses, through Google Glass or whatever. Like, it just seems like noise.
It is.
It's already
It is.
noisy.
It's
Like,
flooded.
It's
is.
noisy enough.
Yeah. It's
So I don't know
already noisy
that.
as it is.
So I don't know that I want that.
I still want the bionic.
I don't deal with that shit, bro.
I still need the knees.
I mean, I still want the bionic knees,
That's
but
important.
like,
That's important.
I don't
That's
want
important.
the Google Glasses where they're gonna keep telling me I'm entitled to, fiscal or financial compensation because I got the Gen
Bruh,
1 cyborg knee.
I just
Yeah.
want like I think the main thing that I really really want is a bionic spine, because I feel like the spine is really important, and I feel like bones are really weak compared to like rocks and metal and like the future that we're gonna have of flying cars and all the metal things and metal moving parts. I need a spine that is literally made of metal or like encased in metal. That is like the most important bone.
But
And all these other bones are great, but I don't need like a neural network to it.
you
but
have to.
which
You can't
sucks.
do that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to have a
which
neural
sucks.
network, which
You
is
have
what
to.
what's
Which
gonna be my
sucks.
point. If you fuck up your spine,
Dude, it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But see, you
it's
you
viruses
say it
and
as
people who are
something
going to be
that's in the
hacking into
future.
it.
Yeah.
That's what's going to suck, dude.
Imagine getting hacked by your spine.
That's the problem. People are going to be hacking crap.
But that
dude.
kind of that kind of tech exists today. I have a
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
out in Colorado
There
that
now.
has a lot of like conditions,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they're not going to go away, CRPS, and the list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm,
And so she has literal devices implanted inside of her with batteries. Like she has to wirelessly charge herself.
That's crazy.
Straight up,
A
yeah.
bladder stimulator, a spine stimulator, all these different things that help, alleviate pain and the other symptoms and conditions. And it's like you talking about it like it's the future, bro. That shit's happening right
It's happening
now.
now, but it's still in the early parts
Early
of it, bro.
stages,
What's
yeah.
going to happen
It's not
is like
sophisticated.
it's going to be so sophisticated that you're going to see a person and you're not going to see anything attached to them, and there is straight up an entire computer system within their
Aida.
gut. And yeah, exactly, a whole computer system in their gut. There's going to be handling their spine, handling their bladder, handling their lungs, handling their.
So you talking about
liver,
like them
kidney.
dark trooper types.
I'm telling you right now, people are going to be doing that. Yes.
Yeah.
That is like, it sucks.
Just
Not
eliminate
sucks.
the human altogether.
Like that. Listen, that's such a good episode. Not okay. Listen, like we don't want to go down that road, and we've seen enough movies to know why we don't want to go down that road. And we have to do our best not to go down. The second we make robots the troops, and we aren't a spacefaring civilization able to like fight them if they get too strong, we're doomed. Like,
Yeah,
Are we
you
in
gotta
that
have a kill switch.
order? We
I-
already
and
there,
like,
bro.
no,
we
I-
there. What you think drone strikes are? You don't have to experience war anymore to fucking be in it.
That's,
I mean, that's a good
listen,
thing, but
look,
also a bad
like
thing.
Drone Strike, that's just
No,
great.
that's
neat.
not a good thing,
the
dude.
Second that
'Cause it takes away the
troops-
consequence.
The second that troops are robots, that's when like it's over. That is when a singular dictator is like, all right, release the Dark Troopers. I'm taking Canada. Awesome. Release the Dark Troopers. I'm now taking Mexico. And then no one's stopping them because bullets aren't hurting them because they're not. And so unless they are as strong as, I shouldn't have made it seem like America is the one who's going to do this first. My fault.
Yeah.
So anyways, on to the next topic.
What you mean, Israel? already did it?
Oh my God. No, dude. You're right though. I feel you.
yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking
I
about.
feel you. It's going to be the military budget too big. All right. So, have you? Well, Cress already kind of answered that, but have you ever interacted with, I guess, reality thinking it was a digital world, and like, of course, phones and books. But what about like cars that are automatic versus manual? Have you guys ever accidentally, where the windows or the fact that they don't have a GPS in the middle of it, or the fact that some of the seat warmers. The seat warmers are a nice addition to it.
See, I'm old school, so even if I had I've driven cars with backup cameras and I don't use them. I look back.
You know, yeah.
It's a habit. So
I love backup cameras. They're beautiful things,
Yeah.
but also like, I mean, I drive a truck, so I
It's
need
a
to look
fixed
anyway.
window. It doesn't
It's a fixed
give
window.
you
I can't see
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Dude, I think they're like
They're
it's
aids,
creating-
not
yeah,
They supplement. They don't replace.
precisely, and there's a lot of people are kind of mixing up the that issue that they're replacing certain instincts and.
It's not even just like with backup cameras. I mean, Honda's been experimenting with those side view mirror cameras, and I think there's a particular Lexus where they were moving towards just no side view mirror at all for fuel efficiency.
I'm sorry, what?
what?
Yeah, Tesla and
Well,
them. This is a
No
technology
side
that they,
view mirror.
no side view
Like you're
mirrors.
taking the
Instead,
whole
it
thing
would
off.
have cameras instead. So you would have a lower coefficient of drag overall, less
I
turbulence
understand.
generated, but it still gives you the same perspective. I'm like,
I understand,
it's not the same
but
when
it's
you.
not the same.
It's not the same, right? Because Honda, I don't
Yeah.
think Honda's integration of it, where like if you try to make a right turn, you got the blinker going,
on,
and
yeah.
it turns on your screen to show. Like that's not the same.
It's not the same,
natural.
Yeah, but
It's not the same haptic
But then again,
feedback
like
almost.
anything, we would adapt. Like anything, whatever tech, like iPhone.
Right, but-
listen, iPhone took away the headphone jack. I ain't hear complaining since. They complained like for a week, and now
And then they all
everyone's
followed
got
suit.
everyone's
They
got
all
Bluetooth.
followed
Everyone's
suit.
got. So if they do make that change, eventually we'll adapt, and it will get used to that until they change something else again. So I don't know. It might be a good idea. I wouldn't want to try it just yet because maybe
Yeah,
I'm
no.
still old
I've never had that problem with the you left a manual car and you're trying to find the clutch and automatic. Never had that. I mean, I switch
I
between
never
the
had
two
that
all
either,
the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I feel you.
like reaching for a window,
Yeah.
like or for the window switch or something like that, and then having to just crank it down. Like that doesn't seem foreign to me because we grew up with
grew
that.
up, yeah.
So
We grew up
like
with the
that,
differences of
that
it.
instinct, that feeling of it being natural is still there.
Yeah.
Versus like maybe somebody today who's like literally never even perceived that a concept like that could exist. What? I have to roll physically? I have to use effort? I can't just push a button?
I feel the generation right after us. was
Yeah,
probably feeling
no
that way
new
more
kids
than
want to
we-
roll the window down.
Nah, that's too much work.
They wouldn't know what it is. They don't have the forearm.
No, but someday it'll be like the retro vibe. You know, it'll be the what's the
Imagine
word
it
for
coming back. 'Cause things always do a 360.
Could see that in some
Yeah,
cars.
man. Imagine that thing coming
Just for the
back.
heck of it.
I
But like
think you can
super
s-
smooth roll down though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Super smooth. Like
I
one.
think you can still buy a Mitsubishi Mirage with roll
roll down?
windows.
Oh my god, the
Yeah.
Mirage.
But here's the thing.
think my
Why
mom
would you
had the
buy a
Mirage.
Mitsubishi Mirage?
I don't know.
Nah,
I don't
I'm
know
good.
why you buying it. I don't know
Yeah.
why they brought that here, but I'm saying
That's why they brought it here.
don't.
Nissan Versa too. I think
The Versa, yeah. I think some like older versions though, not the new ones.
they're always the base trim, but like if
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
if you want the automatic
2020
windows, you got
Versa's
to
not gonna have
pay
that.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we can switch between the two.
That's fair. Have you guys ever had like the ghost vibrations in your pocket where
Yes.
you thought you had your phone on you,
Yes.
or you
Dude.
were like praying you had your phone on you?
Yes. Well, yes. Because all the time I'm checking my pockets. Because
Constantly.
3 things I take out of the crib: keys, phone, wallet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
That's
fair,
it.
that's fair.
It used to be just keys and phone. Since I had the little slap-on thing, you just stick your cards in there and stuff
Nah,
like that.
I ain't about that life.
Fair.
Because then
But-
if you lose your phone, you lose everything.
Everything's
I
destroyed.
know that's the thing, but
That's the
how
caveat.
often are you losing your phone? If it's in your hand all
Yes.
the time. Well, I don't lose my phone that often, so for me, it worked out for a while. I never lost my phone with my stuff in it, but I took it off because I carried more stuff, and I didn't want to just have a fat phone in my hand like
Yep.
full of stuff.
Well, right, yeah, which is why I wouldn't have done it.
So now it's phone, keys, and wallet, and constantly checking for those 3 things all the time. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to say constantly like I'm like paranoid, but it's just that if I sit down and I get up somewhere, keys here, phone here,
You gotta
wallet
feel
here,
it. You gotta know.
gotta know. You feel me? And
But so
if
like,
my-
has that also pushed you in the direction of like using technology to supplement or replace some of those things? Like, I'll be honest,
yeah, my card is on my phone.
all your cards are on your phone, right?
All my cards are on my
Yeah.
phone.
And you try to take off as many cards as you
many
can,
cards
right?
as I can.
All I carry are like the 2 absolute cards that
Yeah,
I
the
would
only card I
need
can't
if
get on
Apple
my phone.
Pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
the only card I can't get on my phone is my license.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
about
that.
it.
I feel
Yep.
that.
So
I think
I think about getting one of those little wallets where it's just cards. You can just like press the thing and
I've seen that. Yeah.
push up. Yeah,
I think it's really interesting that the technology is definitely there where people are moving to a singular clip that looks like this.
Yeah.
It's holding like $20 and like 3 cards. And like, yeah, this is all I really need.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is.
Yeah, but you're gonna get a weird
done.
look for carrying around
Beep.
$20 like that.
I mean, oh, that's
carrying
that's
cash
right.
these
Yeah,
days?
that's
It's for
right.
tipping.
That's right. It's for tipping, though, TBH. But I have realized that's
True,
really what
true,
it is
true,
for. If
true.
you work
No,
as a bartender,
yes.
that is the only reason that people even hold cash anymore
Yeah,
is
yeah.
because they know
Even
Yeah.
if you pay by card, you leaving a tip in cash because
You
you
gotta
don't
do
want
a tip.
fucking government taxing them on it.
precisely.
Yeah.
I have noticed that really is the main
Taxation
reason.
without representation is theft. Don't forget.
theft. Yeah, facts. Facts.
Politics. Thank you. Thank you. I love y'all so much. Bless your souls.
But yes, we have had those ghost vibrations for sure.
Same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I wanted to ask about your opinion on like cognitive dissonance and how it's being used and technology is affecting it. But let me give a quick just dictionary definition of what dissonance is, because that's important. Information is important, guys.
Yeah.
So dissonance,
Knowledge is important.
The more you know.
a tension or clash resulting from the combination of 2 disharmonious or unsuitable elements. So 2 things that don't work together.
Like
fam.
newspaper and
Yeah,
tapping
yeah.
that thing. It doesn't open.
Precisely. Now, cognitive dissonance, which is usually with the field of psychology and where people usually hear it, it occurs when a person holds contradictory beliefs, ideas, or values, and is typically experienced as psychological stress when they participate in action that goes against one or more of those beliefs. So getting defensive when called out for your ignorance, basically. If a person's like hella racist and they're like, yo, bro, you're being racist. And they're like, what you mean?
Nani?
I've never been racist in my life, sir. Calm down. Just because you think this one thing doesn't mean blah, 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 blah. That defensiveness is like that cognitive dissonance. When there is proof, facts against you, but because you've believed something for so long.
Hey man, the alternative facts tell a different story, bro.
Yeah, alternative facts, bro. It's
They haven't heard that term in a minute.
Dude, that's that new one, bro. Alternative facts.
Alternative
That was really used. The fact that word had to be, those words had to be used.
It's crazy, dude.
Maximum cognitive dissonance, bro.
You've
heard what a
exactly.
lie
It's
is
maximum
before.
cognitive
Maximum.
dissonance because it's literally two words
Yeah.
that cannot go together.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there can't be two facts, but like
Two things can
they're
be
two
true.
separate.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Two things can be true, but one's the lie.
Yeah. Dude, that was rough. The dumbfoundedness. The baffle.
Oh, you know what the other one was? We found non-zero problems. Non-zero.
Double
That was
negative.
I don't want to go into the specifics of the context, but you already know what was happening last time. That was a literal word dropped in court. Oh no, we found non-zero
Yeah,
conflicts.
dude,
non-zero.
They will use so many double negatives to try and get themselves out of some nonsense, dude. It's just disgusting.
God, yeah.
Now, how often do you guys look at your phone?
Come on, man.
I know that's a disgusting question to literally ask anyone in this day and
on.
age. But
Even
now,
at work,
If
when
you're
they're
not looking
paying
at your phone, what's wrong with
what are
you?
you doing?
Yeah, like what are you
Now,
doing?
Not how often, but how long do you usually look at it?
That's a good question.
Do you think?
depending on what I want to do. So if I'm listening to music, I probably don't even use my phone. I just tap my headphone. You know what I mean? But if I'm on socials, I'll probably look at it for maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes, scroll through, see something funny, maybe like something, and then put it down. And then, but I'll do that like for 5 minutes every like 3 minutes. You feel me? so it ends up being like an hour.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What you're doing though is you're just trading one
Yeah.
piece of tech for another, right?
another.
Like if you work
Yeah,
on
yeah.
if you work on a computer because you work on a computer, I work on a computer,
yeah.
you work on a computer. Like all you're doing is switching lanes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
are.
and you're constantly switching back. So the reality is, it's your constant state of existence.
Yeah.
Dude, how many times have you been on the computer looking at like Facebook or something? You get off.
Yep.
Who uses Facebook on their computer?
Whatever. A minute later, you look up the exact same thing
on your phone.
on your phone, bro.
I'll have my computer on. I'll be
Come
sitting
on,
at
dude.
it, and I'm like, "Dang, I gotta search something." And I pull up my phone.
Yes.
and search on
I've
my
done it,
phone.
dude.
And I'm like,
I'm mad at myself.
because I can.
It's
like,
faster on the computer.
Yeah, I'm like,
Just do it on the computer.
computer's right here. Why not just
right
type
there.
it? But for me personally, I feel like I just don't want to type stuff anymore because it's my job. So I'm always like sitting typing some. Like I hate putting in like updates on tickets and stuff like that. Like I don't like sitting there typing stuff. I'd rather click everywhere. So for me, when I go home, it's easier for me to just it feels faster on my phone. Technically, it's faster
But
on
it's
my
not.
computer.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
But it
It's
just
like a
feels
creature comfort
faster
at that
I'm
point.
so like, what's what I'm looking for? I'm so disassociated from the computer.
So there's certain things.
I guess that's
there are
disassociated,
certain.
I guess?
It's like dissociation. There's certain things that I like. I could, there's obviously multiple things you can do on your phone, multiple things you can do on your computer. I do have a preference to pay my bills through my phone. I refuse to do that on the computer.
Me too.
But then when it comes to Spotify, I love Spotify on PC.
Yeah.
Spotify, the interface is so much
Yeah,
better
some websites are
on
better.
PC.
Yeah. The interaction with that specific content.
I'm with
is
you,
just
so
better.
no, I pay. But the thing is, you have it set up.
Right.
If you go online, it's not really set up like that. You got to type your stuff in. You know what I mean? So
unless
if
your browser has all your passwords saved and
Yeah.
everything,
Right,
it's all
right.
synced. But like it's
rarely
more
they do.
painful on the computer because you have to go through the effort of typing on a keyboard,
Keyboard, yeah.
moving a mouse, staring
Yeah.
at a whole. Where on your phone, it's literally you open the app.
Tap.
Oh, it recognizes your face, and you just pay.
Pay.
Now, see, this
Put in
is
the quantity, and that's it. Right? I'm using that to lessen the pain of fuck, I just paid bills.
Yeah.
God damn, there goes like half my
an hour.
earning right
Gone.
now.
Gone.
See, and then I love that y'all got that hype about it, because that's exactly why we called it technological dissonance. Let me give y'all the definition we totally just made up between us when we were working on this. Our opinion now. The resulting clash of our mind actively working to differentiate between interacting with reality and interacting with the digital world. Okay, we believe the digital world. We have, or the real world, I should say. We believe the real world. We've dealt with the real world. We continue to see it.
That's the reason why you let somebody swipe a credit card and walk away with merchandise.
Precisely. You know, and then like you said, we believe,
Trust that it's there.
yeah, we
Right.
trust the digital world as the second world that's just existing around us. And there's literally the people are now making the choice of simply having certain parts of their life only done digitally because it is simply more comfortable to exist and do things within this digital world.
Correct.
You
Part of
know?
it's convenience, part of it's
a lot of it's
security
convenience.
too.
A lot of
of
security,
it,
yeah,
you
man.
know.
Like it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but I say distance because it is like these clashing ideas. There are plenty of people who are just like, no, we don't want technology to rule everything
But
we
who
do.
are those people? Who are the people that are still paying their bills with money orders?
Now listen,
Very rare.
very
I
rare.
don't know
Who's
one
doing
person who's doing that.
But, and I would bet you, if you were to find 10 other people who did it, they did it for the exact same reasons. And
they're
it's not
old?
I mean,
No, it's the people who are statistically less likely to have bank accounts.
Right.
Who is less likely to have a bank account?
Like, who cashes a check still, right?
listen.
Like, even now, you
Surprisingly.
have cards that you can just load money
Well,
on.
surprising, dude. You'll find a lot of like poor, low income people still handling,
Bingo.
Still cash, yeah.
handling like check cashing stores.
Right.
There's still one right down
there.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
been
yeah.
there as
People
long
who
As
are
long as I can
undocumented.
remember.
as long
As long as
I've
I've been alive, that check cashing
know?
store has been there.
As long as the check's under $1,000, then I have to report to the state.
Oh,
So you get the anonymity
exactly.
for
Right.
cashing your check
Exactly.
there. And if you're
you know.
an undocumented immigrant,
know.
But they
it lets
take
you
so
still
much.
keep getting paid.
It's the same as when we had a podcast about like radio and like, you know, podcasts, and is radio still going to be a thing in the future? And like, yes, it is.
I think so.
Because there's always going to be people who are low income or lower than low income. And
Well, it's a publicly protected right, like
you know,
NPR and
we have to have these things accessible to people who may not have all technology available.
Right.
You know, but I think that like there are a lot of people who, again, technological dissonance, who are
you know-
losing reality because they are diving so much into this technological.
Funny thing is, they actually build policy around that too. So if you didn't know, the concept of cashless stores has been emerging, especially in 2020,
dude.
because nobody wants
First
to
of
take
all,
cash.
Bitcoin was
But
if you ever play
Bitcoin's
sci-fi
that's a
anything,
whole
not even
that's
just
a whole
Bitcoin.
different level
Sorry,
of
that's
discussion.
completely different.
That's
Sorry.
a different level of discussion.
Yeah.
It's places saying that no, we're not going to accept any more cash. We're not accepting any more change. Everything has to be done via credit card or Apple Pay. Or,
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Because it there's an overhead cost to it, but then the other overhead saving is, well, I don't have a ticket dude or a
Yeah.
counter dude counting
there's a
cash,
surge.
right?
Automatically.
But most states are banning that practice because it
cuts out.
discriminates a
Yeah.
certain percent of the
does.
population that
Right.
cannot take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Again, the people who don't have bank accounts for
Yeah, if you just don't
whatever
set a
their
bank
reasons
account.
are,
Yeah,
right?
you just don't set a
Yeah.
bank account. You're just plenty of barbers, dude. Barbers have forever been taking cash on the table, bro.
Oh, facts.
Like, forever.
Facts.
Okay, and like
I've never used my card at a
we all
barbershop.
accept that. Like as a general like thing, most men are just like, fam, I'm just trying to get my hair cut.
Facts.
Oh, facts. I don't need to worry about tax and change. Great. Here's some
Here's
cash.
it, yeah,
Cut my
here's-
hair. We good. Do what you gotta do to stay open, friend.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
go all the time. It's
that's
expensive.
all of us, you know, and so like we have to have those avenues for people who are still rooted in reality. And then of course, as people root themselves in technology, I'm not saying like obviously like it's different worlds, like they're different type of technology people. No, but there are still mindsets that are down to stay more physical, who are down to have cash, down to worry about coins. But you know, as people are evolving, as our culture is evolving, there is that technological dissonance where, like, hell yeah, dude, moving to the future, moving to cards everywhere, moving to a piece of plastic, being able to maintain all of your credits, all of your money, all of you and your work, basically, because money is your work in the world. That's just what it is. It's you existing.
I
And,
mean, 80% of the currency that exists in the world
know?
is digital.
dude, and
Not even looking at cryptocurrency.
any bank goes down right now, a lot of people are losing billions of dollars. Like that's just what it is. Money literally.
If everybody were to go to the bank right now to try to get their cash,
your money just doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist anymore.
money
You
doesn't
have to
actually
trust
exist.
that the digital currency being exchanged
Yes,
exists.
that those numbers there are real, and when you need to take it out, it is within the bank.
Which was the same thing. I mean, cash is the successor to promissory notes
Yeah.
that you would get from banks because they, instead of carrying around gold coins, they give you this note that if you took it to another bank,
Yeah.
They'd
they
recognize
would
it.
recognize it.
that
Right.
you can do this. Yeah.
And it was the same concept with gold coins because if the king trusted this coin that's stamped here, you don't have to
Yeah,
check for
you don't
the
have- exactly.
the purity, the weight, blah
Yep.
blah 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 blah. It will be worth what it is, the value that they're assigning it for.
Super
I
facts.
agree. Okay. So, I guess it's duh, but do you guys think social media is necessary? Like, I know I feel like it's obviously a hella general question and it's so general, but do you, or should I say, how should it be regulated almost? Or not that it has to be regulated, but
That's another one.
Why
I
does
don't mean
social media
regulated.
exist?
Why
though?
does it exist?
Why does it? Because there's two parts to that, right? And it's been especially apparent in recent years because now we're looking into, well, wait a second, why the fuck is Facebook free? Why
Right.
is YouTube free? Why is
Right.
Google free? Right? So social media exists
Ads.
for bingo. Two separate reasons. There's the business aspect of it where you are not. Facebook is not, or Instagram is not the product.
No,
You are.
You are.
You are
Yeah,
the
yeah,
merchandise
yeah.
that they are selling. They are selling your viewership.
they're selling that people
Your
will be
data,
interested in what you
viewership,
want.
your interests.
But then
everything.
the other aspect of it is the benefit that we get out of it in exchange for us giving away that
Which is
time and
connection to
viewership is
everything and-
the connection to everything, the networking that you get, whether it's for work or just social events, meeting people you would otherwise never meet.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
know.
I guess the question, so let me fix that, y'all. My apologies. The question, I guess, is do you believe that there are more positives than negatives in how widespread social media
I don't
is?
think there are any more positives than
Than there are
negatives
negatives.
Then there are.
in,
right.
in the past. Like it's still weighted the same, I guess. Like I don't see how
They just are, and things happen
It
that
just
are
exists,
positive and
yeah.
are
Right.
negative
And some
on
things
the
that,
platforms.
you can't really weigh the two because it may be a great day on social media, maybe
there's some horrible
maybe a
days,
great
bro.
week, and then it'll be a horrible month.
Yeah.
So it really, it's really sporadic. So it's not something that you
they
can
bring
really
new
weigh that
challenges
much.
and you go about addressing those challenges and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, this is lit.
Precisely.
But then it brings new challenges and it keeps the cycle going.
Yeah. Yes,
But
sir.
that's what progress is.
Yes, sir. Clubhouse.
Teach me.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse
Well, it's this new app that's in beta still, but it's an app where you have to get invited by somebody who's already in the app.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's only your voice. So you have these rooms where you create, and people come in and they chat about whatever it is they want to talk about.
Yeah.
like the
I feel
room
like
won't
that's
have
got to
a
be just as toxic as Among Us.
Oh, it
chat
definitely is
rooms.
going to
Son.
be. It's definitely going to be.
Son.
Without question, it's going to be.
Already, some of the rooms I've been in, son.
Bro, I don't think I
Terrible
want to be part of
conversations,
that.
bro. But what I think it opens us up to is the different perspectives of people and how they think.
It's interesting that it's just voices.
It's
That's
just
really
voices.
interesting.
It'll have the person's profile picture and then just voice.
Isn't that what our podcast is? Just voices?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's a little.
it's an app, so it's more readily available.
Yeah, and it's sporadic.
And
like they're not.
like
And it's
Among Us.
immediate. It's happening in real
like
time.
Among
Yeah.
Us, it's happening whenever you want it to happen.
Yeah.
So people are just going to be like chilling on a drive, fuck it, and then put it on and just talk to
and
random
just
people.
start talk random. Yeah.
And about the topic you want it to be about.
Right.
And so unlike 4chan or those random like message boards, this one's when you want
But is
it.
that
I'll show you guys after the.
is that
call,
almost
yeah.
not the same thing as like you visiting places that you didn't know, but you getting there because of the word of somebody else? Is that not the same concept?
Oh, yeah,
Because you're still giving up the same amount of time.
Kinda, yeah.
You don't have the convenience
Well,
of,
I think-
it just being on your phone and just being able to enter a chat room. But like, is that not the same concept as, oh, I found out about this bar because of XYZ person I went there
Yeah.
and I
No,
socialized with
That's
them. It's
exactly
that
why it's
same
Clubhouse.
concept,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
with the convenience of just doing it like whenever you
Just
want, like
whenever
Among Us.
you want. Yeah,
Right.
whenever you want, man.
Well, I think it's invite only right now because it's still in beta,
Beta or whatever.
But I don't even believe it's still in beta. There's like 1 million plus people on there already. How,
I mean,
how would you
Warzone's
call
still
that
in beta.
Beta.
Warzone's still in beta.
Get out of here.
Next
But
up,
it's an interesting app, man. Like I don't talk on there because I don't create any rooms. Like there's like moderators.
That's
So
interesting.
only the moderators and the people they allow to come up and talk
Yeah.
will talk. But like some of the conversations they have are really, really interesting.
bro,
Some
you
of
won't
them
even
are
catch me on
stupid as
Discord.
fudge. Stupid.
You said
But-
Clubhouse? I'll check it
Yeah,
out. Dude. Why not?
yeah. You can download it, but someone has to invite you in, so you won't get any access to it.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It sounds like Crest is already in there, so
Yeah,
you
dude,
know who to hit up.
here's some things, bro. I'll check it
yeah.
out.
Though,
I'll
there's some-
check it out.
There's some shit.
That's why Crest doing, we don't.
That's what I say. Here I saw. He's like, there's some things. There's some things in there, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm in the rooms. I'm in the rooms.
Sounds like Discord, but like
I don't know.
Nah,
it sounds worse.
not even close, dude. Nah.
So this one's just weird. I frankly just thought it was a cool word, like combo together. Have you guys heard of quantum supremacy?
Quantum
Bro, I don't like
supremacy?
any form of supremacy. Let's just put that on the table. I don't care if it's black,
know.
white, or quantum. I don't want it.
Black water.
Whatever
quantum.
kind of supremacy there is, I don't want it.
I feel you
What
on
about
that.
if it's the Bourne supremacy?
The who?
That was a good set of movies.
That was a good set of movies.
That was an interesting set of movies. They were neat. I can't lie. But okay,
Just the word supremacy has a lot of weight to it.
I
has
agree.
a lot of connotation to it. So I don't know that I want it.
So guess who it was declared by? Google. Okay, it was declared by Google when their quantum machines was basically able to compute something in 2.5 days that would have taken 10,000 years.
What?
With their quantum machine. Okay?
Seriously?
Yes.
And that's old news too, right? That was like a year ago.
Yeah, that was literally like a couple of years ago. Actually, I think it was a year ago. But
Yeah, it was
either way.
exactly like
So
a year ago.
What makes, so everyone knows, what makes quantum machines awesome is normally information is in ones and zeros. A quantum machine.
Binary.
Yeah, a binary. So if you have a bit of information, a thing of existence is either a 1 or a 0, on or off, light or dark, whatever you want to call it. A quantum machine is able to take that same bit and make it exist as a 1 and a 0 at the same damn time. Okay. In doing that, if you have a string of 4 bits and they all can exist as 0 and 1 simultaneously, then everything that exists within those 4 bits can happen simultaneously and can be learned and used simultaneously.
So what you're saying is there are infinitely many
Jesus,
zeros and
Get
ones.
out of here, son. You know you've been hanging on to
I'm
that
gonna fight
the
this
whole,
man. I'm gonna fight this.
the
I'm
whole
sorry.
pod. You've been hanging on to
I
that.
like how that circled back though.
that was
We
good, that was
looped
good.
that right back in.
Fine.
I told
That
you
wasn't
things come
planned,
back.
boys.
Fine, but I'll complain the whole time. Anyways,
See,
but
I told you things come back 360.
but hey, so with machines able to do that, that makes them exceptionally faster, exceptionally stronger, harder, faster, better, stronger, just all of it. With that being the case, if a company has quantum supremacy, like I wish they didn't call it quantum supremacy, but that's really what it is. Like they are now able to
I wish I didn't
calculate,
call it that, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They are now able
So
to calculate.
naturally, I want to put up a war against it.
Yes, naturally, America should be like
yeah.
fighting
Like
this.
I am ready to come there
This
with
would be a drone
like
strike by now.
Yeah, no, because with it being called quantum supremacy, it is literally exactly what is happening. The machines are
So
evolving.
what's the next level?
It means the machines are evolving. That's literally what it means. It means that when you say machine, calculate that universe over there, it can do that and then understand why that universe is doing what it's doing. And then we can say, well, let's change this one fact about that universe. Okay. Then it makes the universe. That's crazy.
so as long as you trust it, like when somebody swipes a card in an ATM machine.
Yes.
As long as you trust it.
Yeah, that is what the quantum machines are being used for. If you have a quantum machine and it's a 30-digit long encryption for one person's password, and again, it's calculating all of those 30 digits along all of its different factors. Yeah, you can have like an infinite amount of people have a card with your company, which is great. That's awesome for companies, and it's awesome for them all to be encrypted. The issue is when the evil people also get a quantum computer fighting the good quantum computers. And
Everybody's the hero of their story, bro.
Exactly. But that is why you want to have quantum supremacy, so that when the bad quantum computers come up, you know yours will win and is already smarter than whatever they're going to be making.
That's weird.
It's just the fact that it's with Google right now first. Like Google has it first. And it's also along this at the same time as like AI puzzle solving, of course, AI art creation. If you've seen any of those AI paintings recently, that like I think is Google who made them.
Nothing is scarier than giving computers like
A task and they do it themselves.
right.
That's freaky.
Or like if you, I'm sure you guys have seen the video where they got that humanoid structure, has the same like dexterity and limitations.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, oh, get from point A to point B.
Yes.
And it literally gets
like,
there in
okay.
the same, like it's learning to walk and
Yeah,
run and
yeah.
jump. It fails and it learns to do it
It's
over
like,
again. That's
okay,
when it hits
cool.
you like,
They're learning.
nah, fuck that.
Yeah, they're learning. They're learning.
Brainiac.
I know you've seen that Boston Dynamics video of
Boston
the
Dynamics,
robots
they wild.
dancing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's wild.
I saw that video. That was a weird video.
It's wild.
we're taking that physical technology that exists and the computing capability of AI.
A quantum computer and putting it in that. Combine those and then also
Bro,
add the science of deep
These
fakes.
dark troopers,
Brainiac,
bro.
bro.
These dark troopers.
Add the science of deep fakes also
Brainiac.
existing, and the second that computers are able to connect all these things and create their own programs, create their own willpowers, like it.
all you dudes out there with trades constantly shitting on people working at McDonald's, for not working harder to get minimum, better than minimum wage. Wait till fucking Boston Dynamics comes after your jobs. Automation already took most of y'all's, but Boston Dynamics, they're gonna take it in places where you can't set up factories. Yeah. Right?
I just don't
They're going to be fucking welding these windmills together, and then you're really going to be loving that UBI, the Universal Basic Income. Sorry to bring politics into it.
But politics. Okay, so on that, the final question I really got for me, we could wrap it all up, but do you believe that we can create consciousness through technology?
Huh?
I'm so,
define consciousness.
When people are like, yes, we've created AI and we are trying to make it achieve as close to being conscious as possible. This is obviously the whole was it Ex Machina movie that just came out actually?
Oh, facts.
It's like that whole conversation. Like, do you think that we can create consciousness through technology?
So when you say consciousness, so like the information and intelligence are not the same thing. Information is just the acceptance that it's there. Intelligence is using that information to be able to predict
utilization of it.
The utilization of it, right? Consciousness is then now having
the willpower to want to do it itself.
The want to do it itself, or to feel repercussions of it, or to be able to recognize that I did right or wrong,
and that it wants to continue existing in order to keep making those choices or have that willpower. Do you?
So long as humans are the ones programming it, then yes, because we bring that. What's the word that I'm looking for? What we created technology is an inspiration of what we don't have here and the biases that we think in, right? So that's why those humanoid structures within this AI universe are able to, right? Because it's limited to the same things. It's moving with that bias. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but I don't see it as being an impossibility, because think of it in the sense of driverless cars, right? Yeah. Driverless cars are far less likely to make mistakes that humans will make, and people are still pissed off about it. Like, they're like, no, you had this one accident. It's like, right, but at the same time, how many hundreds of thousands of car accidents have happened by humans? One accident. Right? But the accidents, when they happen, are very much the same type of accidents that happen with humans, right? It's the same thing. It's this,
someone else T-boned them, someone else did this, or even if the car messes up.
Inability to perceive that, there's a pedestrian here or another vehicle here. The difference is the car just doesn't feel bad about getting to the accident.
Exactly.
The human behind it does, right?
Interesting.
It's true though. Yeah.
In a world where technology will communicate with one another, where like driverless cars, for example, will communicate so that they can all continue to move in harmony. So I don't know that it's necessarily.
All this is bring me right back to Brainiac, dude. We don't need, because that's what Brainiac is. He's the consciousness from technology.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. I believe that I believe that we are all portals to consciousness, and each of us are able to implement consciousness in reality. And I think that when we are thinking about AI, thinking about technology, the thing is, I think it is limited to our own user interface until we do implement something like quantum computers within it, and then ask it to calculate beyond us. Like when it makes these when the AI makes the art paintings, it can only base its knowledge of what art should look like off of what we have created. No matter what, all of our AI can only guess.
It's the same thing with the music.
Evolve. Yeah, music can only evolve.
It's basing it off patterns that we humans recognize.
Yeah, because if you create an instrument and you blow into an instrument and it makes no sound, you'll think we failed. But in reality, a dog down the street is like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And and something is still in existence that we are creating, but we just can't perceive it. And I think it's the same with technology. We are creating it in our visible spectrum of light and items,
which doesn't show any of the communication.
It
doesn't show any of the waves, the millimeter waves.
It doesn't show any of that. So they think about how hard it really was to get a computer to imagine 3-dimensional space. We only see
computers still can't subtract.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
in binary code, there's subtraction doesn't exist. It's subtraction by addition.
Precisely. There is information.
There's no division either. It's only multiplication.
Exactly. It isn't actually calculating that this 2 moved into this 2 and then it creates a 4. No,
there are other mathematical theories in just addition to get that.
Precisely. To get
So
back to what it
you're
used to
still
be.
perceiving it, right? Two
Precisely.
holes on your straw. You're still perceiving it as you're
Full
still
circle. Full circle.
you're still perceiving it as it's just the simple subtraction. What you're not seeing, though, what you're not able to perceive is the thousands of calculations that are happening every single second to give you that feeling, that concept, that perception.
Yes. I know that is there, and that's true.
Yo, when I asked that question, I didn't think it was going to tie in this way. We did not plan that. Audience, we
didn't
did
plan
not.
that.
It just worked out.
didn't
Really.
plan
Yes,
that.
it ties in, and again, I agree. There are infinite points in the straw if you are looking at it from different perspectives that are slightly too
It's a
But
pixel.
it's your...
Stop it. All right,
a moot
listeners, I just
point.
want, that's the last question.
We're
I
not
really
gonna
got,
do
bro.
that
We
again.
done with that. We done with that.
a
Listeners,
moot
if y'all
point.
interested, I'm always down.
I wanna
to
hear
talk
the
about
debates
it.
in the- I wanna see the debates in the comments.
I'm so
Yeah, I
down
have
to
to
debate
comment.
that later on, dude. Anytime. Tell me about
we
your
have
straw
to hear what
belief,
V Money says.
bro.
That's
so-
the perspective I'm
so-
looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him or Nashad.
I got to ask Denton too, bro.
Oh,
Mr. Gaddy, bro. He loves the meta conversations, bro.
Dude, that reminds me of the question
You
I was
asked
going to ask
Nishad
at the
that he's going to bring
beginning of the pod.
spirituality into this, bro.
Excellent. I
Like,
need him to.
it's the religious value of having the straw.
Oh, bro, I'm already there, bro. I'm
Do
with
you
you on
even
that.
have the
Do you
straw?
have it? Is it real? Do you have the straw? Is it part of you?
We're going to get off the straw, but it brought me back to the question I was going to ask at the beginning of the pod that I totally forgot to ask. So,
Oh, I thought you left it out on purpose.
no.
Right.
I forgot. So, I forget everything, dude.
That's how you know. This ain't
Yeah,
scripted.
my
bro.
mind is so
This is not
it's
scripted.
mush, dude. I blame technological distance.
Same.
So I had this issue where someone called me and they told me a monitor wasn't working. She said it's not working. Right? Those were her words.
Okay.
I go over to her and she's like, "Look, it's not working." I'm like, "Did you plug it in?" She's like, "No, it's not plugged in." So I plug it in and I'm like, "Boom, it's on."
Sure.
And she's like, and I told her, "Don't tell me that it's not working because it is working.
It is working.
You
just dumb.
didn't
Didn't
plug
know
it
what you
in
Oh my god.
to see." So my thing is, if something, let's say the monitor is not plugged in, does that mean it's not working?
It means it's not on. There's a better way. We have words, and words are important. There are ways to describe its state of being. Because I forgot who I was talking to about this, but I think it was a previous podcast we had. But I was like, at what point does a rose become trash? You know, like a rose is a seed, turns into a pod, but it buds, it becomes sprouts, whatever. It becomes a stem. It has leaves. Eventually, grows big enough that it gets a flower on. The flower degrades. It falls to the ground. However long it survives, eventually it falls into the ground, becomes rubbish, and dissolves back to the ground. At what point is it trash?
Right.
It isn't. It's not beautiful at a certain point, and we're not going to consider it a rose at a certain point.
Right.
Heck, it's not even a rose unless it has the flower out.
Right.
You know, and people might not even notice that's a rose bush. So like, but even when it's a seed, is it technically a rose? But it is a rose bush.
Right.
So at what point does it become trash? You
Yeah.
know, and
So-
that this is kind of the same line of question. It's
Yeah. So the idea is that
so
like
don't you dare bring that back to the infinite.
you can't
time.
say
Sorry.
that.
I'm not going to bring it back to the infinite
But it's true
straw,
though.
but
Also, along that same point in time,
You can't
like,
say that it's not working.
It does
because
exist.
you don't know if it's working or not.
You don't know.
because you didn't go through the proper channels.
It's not plugged
to
in.
Put it in the most
optimal.
optimal. I was gonna say maximum.
So
the most
I'm gonna
optimal opportunity to try it to work.
Exactly.
I'm going to bring this back to a lot of episodes back when I told you.
I remember
when we
all
were
of them.
talking. Yeah, well, you remember the last one I was here for, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I said was you have to be careful with the words that you use because
They do matter, right?
they matter. The message matters. The optics matter. We had an incident recently, right? In the last couple of days where had the circumstance been different, had it been you or me, Trey, we wouldn't be having the discussions that we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
The message matters.
Matter,
and
man. Words matter. Listen,
tie it back to the Orwellian society where it's being catered to you like that because they want to control how it is you perceive
how
it.
it's perceived.
Those of us who see it the other way around are like, no, hold up. Shut the fuck up. Come back to the objective truth here. You are treating two of the identical, scenarios as completely different.
Yeah.
And this concept exists in finances, right? If you have this Pokemon card that you found and it's a rare one that's worth $3,000, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking put it up on the shelf. But if you were to see it on somebody else's shelf being sold for that, you're like, no, I'm not fucking paying $3,000 for it.
Yeah.
You are not giving the same value to literally the exact same thing because the scenario has changed.
And you see it different. I had this conversation last night with the homies when I was playing FIFA. We were talking about how, remember how not too long ago I said on this podcast, to be woke means to be pissed off all the time because you constantly understand what's going on behind closed doors. And we were having the conversation about billionaires, right? And what it takes to be a billionaire, and should there be billionaires? Like,
there's no reason for it, y'all.
There's zero reason to be a billionaire, and the background or the backbone of being a billionaire is rooted in a lot of human rights violations.
Like, no matter what, it's human rights violation.
No matter what you do,
because
that's not a hot take. That's just the reality.
It wasn't supposed to be. Yeah,
that's
but
reality.
People don't realize that. Dude, they just think he has a lot of money.
The system, if a person follows the laws, would not be able. He or she, sorry.
Yeah.
Would not be able to become a billionaire. Because all of their taxes, all of their money would be going back to serving their companies, and serving the people who are serving their company.
The channels which allow those people to get to that level
all their minimum
have
wages
been cut off.
Yes.
They are not there. Those opportunities aren't there. And they want you to believe this perception that if you work hard enough, you can get there.
When
the reality is, it literally, like that wealth does not circulate for you to ever accrue it.
You will never accrue it.
Yeah, they broke the rules first. Right. They took advantage of the rules first. Thus, they have the advantage.
Right.
And they're telling everyone else, nah, trust me, y'all keep working. I promise you can get the money that we took out of the circulation. I promise you'll be able to get that money eventually.
Rise and grind, wake up, work every day.
That's bullcrap. They took the money
to build
out.
their wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The money is literally not in circulation. It's in their pockets, in their bank accounts that they make sure.
You can never become a billionaire if there's only $10 billion in the world and 9.9 billion of it literally belong to 10 people.
Yes.
And you, the 11th person, like, you were never going to get that.
Exactly.
No.
And to get
but keep
there,
working hard, bro. Someday you'll get it.
Someday, bro. Don't worry about it.
It's just that to get there is so morally obtuse.
It is.
And it's a horrible road to go through, but you have to not care about anybody else in order to be to be a billionaire.
That is the problem.
And that's the issue for me. It's rooted in so much BS. Like, you can't pay a living wage. You can't give money back. You won't make money by giving it away. Unless it's a tax write-off.
You can hire Boston Dynamics.
It's a tax write-off.
Like, in reality, most people should be having their salary go up every year. And the problem is a lot of companies will then just fire the people who have been there too long. Or they'll make sure that it goes up like 5 cents a year.
They have to keep you in a position where you're still just barely scraping by. So you keep coming back to work.
You'll keep coming back to work.
A week.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Because if they let you have the financial independence, bro, you're not going to be spending that money. You're going to let it sit in the bank.
Billionaires.
It's stupid because that mentality just isn't there for middle class and like lower class people. Like, bro, when we get money,
the concept of the middle class has literally only existed in the last 100 years.
When
and it was a very short span.
And we're going to stay there because
I really don't believe I really don't believe there's a middle class. I think there is.
Pre-World War II, there was no middle class. It did not exist.
There's hella rich, and then there's everyone else who's trying to get a basic life. They make it seem like this American dream is so crazy, but I'm like, in the past, it was literally get an acre to build a house on it and then live. That's all the dream is supposed to be. And I'm sorry to always bring it back, but fam, I went to North Carolina and it just hurt every time I looked at all these houses up there and I saw that they were all on a couple acres and it'd be a singular like shack. It'd be a singular RV, but I'm like, these people were just given that land. They have the land and thus you're able to do something on it. And it always just kills me because I'm like, that really is the American dream that people talk about. It actually is to have land and live on it. And
to deny people land is to deny people wealth. If you were black in the 60s, you did not have property. You could not get loans. You had nothing to be able to give up as collateral.
Yeah, you don't have collateral. So if you don't have collateral, like, what are you supposed to do, bro?
Yeah.
And so many of these people, and like,
why you think you leasing everything? Why you think you fucking renting everything?
Thank you. Like, it sucks.
Because they realize once you own that material, being that thing, you can now profit from it too. But if you have to keep coming back,
maybe this is another little.
That's a whole conversation.
No, that's a whole
I was
other
gonna bring something
conversation.
up.
Sure.
Maybe this might be just another philosophical question. How do we own land?
Listen, it's not technically. It's the
How's
same
that a thing?
It's the same way we have cash. Okay, it's the same way cash means
trust
something.
that you
it's trust. That's all it is.
in the document.
Literally,
that says you
bro,
own it.
we had an entire war with the Native Americans over this. They were like, what are you talking about? You own this land, bro.
It makes zero
Bro,
sense.
you
to
just
own
came here on a
land.
boat. If you owned it, you wouldn't be here on a boat.
What you mean, bro? Like that, it literally doesn't make sense to
Right.
own land. However, now we're in a society that made it make sense. So now we have to abide by it. But in reality, like, nah, we should be able to go randomly to the forest up there in the mountains, carve out like an acre, say it's ours, and then make a house on it. You should be able to do that because that's what was happening in the past.
See, it's not.
But now it can't happen because people
Right, but
now,
are you-
we now have GPS and we can see where the tree lines are.
Right.
And we can like find people for stealing land.
But
You
it's
know?
not, that's not sustainable. That's why that didn't exist. I mean, it existed then, but it's why we've stepped away from that slowly, right? It's the reason why we have city ordinances and zoning laws.
That's why
and everything,
homesteading
right?
doesn't happen anymore. Like people
Right.
now own giant chunks of acreage because they were millionaires in the past. They bought up the acreage and now they're able to sell every like 5, 10, 20 acres of it off of their 1,000 acres that they own.
Right.
There are people who literally own a whole mountain
Yeah.
and can sell off 20 acre chunks and they still have 800 acres left.
Right.
You've just made a city
Yeah.
off of your
Which
land.
doesn't make sense.
But they can do that.
you think, yeah.
It does make sense because they had it. The issue is it does make sense because we know America's history. There were
Yeah.
people who made millions and then bought it. That's the issue. That it does make sense in America because we know why, who, and when and where they did it.
Right, but
you
the initial transaction wasn't, oh, you purchased it.
Yeah.
It was
Nah,
you
they carved it
seized
out, killed everyone on it.
You claimed it as
Said it was
yours.
theirs.
Because if you were the first person to purchase it or to say you own it, well, who the fuck did you buy it from?
Exactly.
You claimed something that
Yeah,
was
who sold it
unclaimed
to
as
you?
yours,
Exactly.
gave it this
Yeah.
artificial value
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
others had to believe in to be able to take it. Now,
Yep.
granted, it almost had to be that way too. It had to be that way.
That's the problem. The closer you come to creating a society, the more you do have to divvy up land. Like it sucks. I shouldn't say that because obviously you could have like Native American societies, you could have Aboriginal societies, you could have these societies that are like lower. But fam, if you got 1 million human beings, you got to create some semblance of order.
Yes.
Yes.
Thus, you have to create sections of land that you are allocating to people
Yep.
with some degree
As
of reasoning.
because it's
Yeah.
the sustainable thing
It's a
to do.
sustainable thing to do. You could go ahead and say, all right, everyone go be homesteaders and carve out land. Okay, well, what happens when Joe Bob has 3 shotguns, 8 sisters and friends who help him defend his 20 acres that he shouldn't have taken?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Now it's
Nothing
anar-
happens to
now
him. He
it's
takes
anarchy,
it. And now
yeah.
it's anarchy.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it sucks that you have to have order and you have to have law and order. No,
Yeah.
you have to have stability.
You used to have to sign paper deeds and things like that. And
Yeah.
now
Oh yeah.
It's
Now it's
literally
completely different.
just
It's completely different.
DocuSign on a tablet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
own
yeah,
it,
yeah.
bro.
You got land, bro.
You
You
own
good.
it.
Yeah. Well,
the only reason why we know you own it is because if you go to the property appraiser website right now, it lists your name.
says it.
That's
Well,
it. And you
I'll
have
tell you
to
what,
trust it.
That's literally it's all trust over a few paper signs.
And
that
it
someone
doesn't
put on
matter
the
if you don't
property.
trust it, because if you own my property, I'm gonna call the police.
Yes.
And they're gonna take you off because it's trespass.
You know?
Yeah.
And so this land, which has had a whole ass life there, it's just like, I don't know, people keep getting mad when they're honest, bro. Someone got arrested last year when they were building a house out. And it's just land there. And
This is what
friends,
I said.
buy land. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
You gotta
Ignore everything
own
we said.
something.
Buy
Assets.
land. I promise you.
Assets.
Dude,
That's how
land-
billionaires are made, by the way.
Land is
they
so
don't
much
have
cheaper.
liquid $1 billion in their
Nah.
accounts. It's all assets.
Yes.
Assets,
Assets.
investments, all
Yep.
that equate to billions of dollars. You probably got maybe, I don't know, few million liquid, maybe 800 million liquid. Doesn't matter. But everything they own, and by the way, it's a little
All the currency
Here's
you
a
own
little-
is digital.
yeah.
But all the currency they own is
Is physical,
material.
yeah.
Yeah.
here's a little trick to staying rich. You don't spend your own money. You borrow money, and you borrow it against collateral, which would be your assets, and that's how you stay a billionaire. All your big banks, all your J.P. Morgans, your Goldman
Not even
Sachs,
just big banks. Anybody that finances anything. I mean,
anything.
right? Like
Borrow
developers, they get
against
it.
yourself.
Right.
You spend that and just use what you have as collateral.
Even though you pay an interest
Even
on it,
though
and
you
it's
pay an
more
interest in-
it's more expensive.
Yep. But that's how you stay rich in this country, which is ridiculous. Two things. It's not lost on me that a lot of the way this country works, a lot of the way that we work is just stuff we agree upon.
That's all it is.
So if anyone
Everything we
decides,
do is
yeah,
all we agree. Everything.
it's just
But
'cause
when
we
did you agree
this
upon
way.
to it?
Capitalism
When did you
is
agree to
agreeing.
it? When
We
did you
didn't.
sign that social
We
contract?
didn't. We didn't.
You didn't, dude.
It was automatic because it was taught to us.
Were you born?
Yes. It was
I didn't ask for
we
it.
didn't have the choice.
Yeah.
You feel me? We were just born
Right.
into the agreement.
Yep.
So that, and also, dang, what was the second thing I was about to say? I forgot.
I'm spacing
be
out
like
today,
that,
dude.
y'all.
I'm burned
Yeah, I
the
forgot.
fuck out from this entire year.
We're good. We're coming up to the end of the
Yeah.
pod anyway, bro. You good?
I forgot. My bad.
Ain't no thing. Ain't no
I think the one thing that we didn't discuss here, and it's like the thing that disappoints me most about technology today.
What?
We always used to, like, when we grew up, we didn't have phones. We didn't have portals to the infinite knowledge that is out there, right? Like,
Nope.
we have so much at our fingertips, right? And now we have it. Like, think about all the stuff that you learned in the last year or last 6 months. There's so much that I could not have
now
known
witness, dude, and
without
like fear and, yeah.
by technology. But then there are a significant number of people who go out of their way to be misinformed, to be willingly ignorant, to deny truths and believe in alternative facts.
Politics.
I mean, but it's not even a politics thing. It's just it's COVID, right? Nah, bro, these vaccines. These vaccines are to keep you on track, bro.
Yeah. Listen, thank you so much for listening to us. Thanks so much for watching us. Let us know what you think about the straw. And I want you to know.
Hole?
Yeah.
The straw.
Tunnel. Hole. Actually, I'm glad that he was talking earlier about it. He was just like, no, you can't have two truths and not talk. He was correct. You do have a truth that all of you agree on because that's how you can exist in this world. We all agree.
Yeah, so I'll give you your
on
two
what we see.
holes. I'm
There's
just
two
telling
holes.
you wrong for it, though.
Yeah.
That's been a lot about nothing, y'all.
Listen, thank you. Please subscribe. Please add us to your notifications. We're gonna cut down on what we're on, so it's probably gonna be just Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud.
The important places.
Yeah, the important places. And YouTube. Don't forget YouTube. So subscribe,
right.
comment. I want you to know that your dreams of being a billionaire aren't completely far-fetched, but it is very immoral. Also, don't try to tap the newspaper. It won't open. It's been a lot
Pinch to
about
zoom,
nothing.
though. Pinch to zoom.
Pinch
you just
to
gotta
zoom.
pinch to zoom, but like bring your face closer to it.
Yeah.
That'll give you the satisfaction you're looking for.
It's been a lot about nothing. Thank you for listening. Peace.